It's just an absolutely glaring difference in level of enforcement.
Amber Bracken is an Edmonton-based freelance photojournalist. She claims she witnessed a difference in how RCMP dealt with Indigenous protesters and those at Coutts border. This is video of one of the many blockades involving Indigenous environmentalists in opposition of the Coastal GasLink pipeline. Bracken was covering the protest in northern BC. She was also at the just-ended Coutts blockade in southern Alberta. Similar to the Coutts blockade, the Coastal GasLink pipeline blockade slowed down the economy. However, at that time, the Alberta UCP government was swift and implemented new legislation to remove protesters from what they considered critical infrastructure.
It's really jarring when the only images that you see of Indigenous people interacting with police, these ones of like riot shields and militarized helmets and big guns and people being, wrestled to the ground or like taken into custody.
Bracken says Coutts blockade protesters were being embraced by officers, treatment she wishes she saw at all protests.
Definitely raises questions about why so much force was necessary when they're enforcing against Indigenous groups.
Bracken is not the only one wondering if there is a difference in the intensity of force used by RCMP against some groups.
The police tend to view actions by left-leaning groups as more detrimental to public order and safety than the actions of right-wing political actors. And this is exactly what we're seeing playing out.
Those involved in the Freedom Convoy say they're fighting for freedom and an end to all COVID mandates.
It's one thing to talk about restrictions for 2 years. It's another thing to live under the Indian Act for 150 years. And I think that there's some reflections that we could take as a culture, as a society.
The Coutts border blockade ended with 13 arrests and seizure of firearm and weapons. In Edmonton, Laura Krause, City News.